Now, tonight, with reaction to all of this, is the House Majority Whip, California Congressman Kevin McCarthy. Well, we do have a fear-mongering demagogue president, Congressman. What is your reaction to the rhetoric that he's been using?
Well, I think he's just trying to put fear into the American public. And what's amazing to me, Sean, I talk about this. This is like a roadshow president. He's more interested in keeping the campaign going around the country. And he's got to decide. Either he wants to be president of a political party, or he wants to be president of the United States and actually lead in the process and work towards some type of solution. But that's not what we're getting.
All right. Now, the president says on Friday he's going to meet with the 4 top congressional leaders. That means John Boehner, and that means Senator Mitch McConnell. Didn't John Boehner say that he wasn't going to do that anymore, or did I misunderstand him?
He said he wasn't going to sit down and negotiate. I mean, what the president's really doing is asking for a photo op at the last minute. Remember what we're talking about here, though. It's $85 billion out of $3.6 trillion budget. We borrow $85 billion every 28 days. So we're just talking about less than what we borrow in 1 month.
Oh, wait, but isn't it in 2013, isn't it really $44 billion? It's not 85 this year?
Yeah, because some of them, the cuts are offset into the next year. So you're cutting, really, in reality, less than 1 cent out of every dollar, and he's going to shut down all the essentials. It's going to curve somehow in the military. People aren't going to be able to fly in the TSA. I mean, a lot of these numbers just go back to 2009, and I remember America running pretty well in 2009.
All right, so for the past week and a half or so, the president's been releasing criminals, even though the sequester has not even happened yet. That's point number one. Let me also tell you what Bob Woodward said about the president, and this had to do with the Pentagon and an aircraft carrier being deployed in the Persian Gulf. Let's show you what he said.
Under the Constitution, the president is commander-in-chief and employs the force, and so we now have the president going out because of this piece of paper and this agreement. I can't do what I need to do to protect the country. That's a kind of madness that I haven't seen in a long time.
A type of madness we've not seen in a long time. I think he kind of captures the moment. What does that say about the president? Releasing criminals, not sending out aircraft carriers? What do you think he's doing?
I mean, I think he's playing political politics because all he wants to do is take more from the taxpayer. And that's the sad part. You know, when he sits there and threatens Bob Woodward, his administration, that's wrong. But think about how many times Bob Woodward had dealt with presidents in the past and what they've threatened him before. For him to come out, Woodward, and talk about this, I think this is very big, and I think this will even grow into something much more that the American people will be concerned about.
All right, I've got a question because conservatives like myself, by the way, you may want to tell your friend Keith Ellison that I am a conservative and one that's registered conservative. I know conservatives are concerned, Congressman. You're in the leadership. They want to hear from you. Under no circumstances are taxes going up because the president is insisting on tax increases as part of any deal. Are you going to, can you tell the American people tonight 100% certainty that's not going to happen in this case?
That's not going to happen. No taxes are coming out of this House. I'll tell you that as the Majority Whip. And what's more important, even for the American people to know, is there's not a need for more taxes. For the last 40 years, the percentage of what revenue came into GDP has averaged 17.9%. Now it's going to go up to 19%. In America today, we're going to get more revenues in, $2.7 trillion, than America has ever received. It is not a revenue problem. It is a spending problem. Yeah. And that's what we have to find out. But this president can't get over it. The only thing he wants to do is continue to take, in the process, more from taxpayers.
It seems to me that every Republican should be for very simple principles. Limited government, balanced budgets, and they should be against generational theft, because we're literally pounding open the piggy banks of our kids. United in the House, if every House Republican is united on those 3 simple principles, you have power to stop President Obama. This is during this debate, during the continuing resolution debate, during the budget debate. You guys have power. Are you confident that all the Republicans are united on those 3 principles I just mentioned?
I'm very comfortable telling you we're united in that. We're not only just united in that, we want to fight for that. You know, Sean, you and I had a lot of talks after the end of the last year of how this how it ended in the president's fiscal cliff challenges and where the Republicans were at. And I talked about the strategy that united this new House. And I think you're seeing it right now from one, where we've moved and made sure the Senate, if they don't pass a budget, they won't get paid. We're now sitting strong with the sequester, and now we're going to produce a budget that balances in 10 years. That is something fundamentally different that goes to the core of what Republican and all Americans believe.
All right. I think the only thing I would suggest humbly is I think Republicans need message discipline. Every Republican has a different message. You guys need to be on the same page, because the president is now trying to inflict the maximum amount of pain on the American people and inconvenience to say, those Republicans are nasty budget cutters that want dirty air and water and hate children and hate grandma.
We can always prove in our message, but the one thing you could say that we're good at is the policy. The policy is very good at what we're moving forward.
Whoever would think a president would want to inflict maximum pain on the American people to make a political point, beyond my lifetime. Good to see you, Congressman. We're going to be watching closely, and we hope you all stand strong, united. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Coming up next, Rudy Giuliani.